It's a side out of bounds execution that we have, and we just didn't execute it. The body position is important, and we just didn't execute that.
I know the numbers defensively have been pretty in line with last year for you guys, but when it comes to plays like that, have you kind of noticed the same level of intensity and focus, especially within the last couple of games here on that end?
Yeah. I think we've been inconsistent in that, but we had two 25-point quarters last game. It was our offense because of our live ball turnovers. This game, it was the inconsistent in our effort. So I think in small samples, we need to play harder. But if you look at the 30-game sample size, it's about where we're at. But yeah, definitely moments where we have to play harder.
Joe, what happened with Kristaps at halftime there that led to the injury?
I haven't heard anything yet.
You know what I mean?
No.
And did you see him? It seemed like he tweaked it in the first minute or so of the game.
Yeah. I saw
did you
that.
guys notice that on the bench? And did he
I noticed it. He played through it. I asked him how he was. He said he was okay. And then he got reevaluated at halftime, but I haven't heard anything yet.
Joe, defensively, what can you do to slow down Maxey? I mean, he's yelling at your bench to get guys out of there. He's having his way with you. What can you do in a situation like that when he's so fast, and you guys have had trouble with those types of players to be able to contain him from kind of scoring in bunches?
Yeah, I mean, it's on our individual matchup, but it's on our team as well. We just have to take his tendencies. Some of those he's going to make, but the stuff that we gave him to his right hand in the first half, the maxi minutes in the second quarter, where he kind of got loose in transition, he got loose going to his right hand, you have to take some of those away. And so it's just a continued detailed effort on the tendencies. So especially the ones in the first half. I say that the stuff in the first half that he got because of our transition and our not attention to detail are worse than some of the stuff that he got in the second half.
And then what happened? The begin the fourth quarter, they don't have Embiid or George, and you have Tatum and Brown. What happened in those minutes? You seem like you guys just couldn't get anything together.
Yeah. I mean, just didn't have great offensive rhythm. Just didn't have great defensive execution. So listen. We're playing inconsistent basketball, so we got to be better at both ends of the floor. Got to be more consistent at both ends of the floor.
Joe, it seems like at the beginning of the season, when you had some of that defensive inconsistency, the shooting was able to get you through, the offense was able to get you through. Now you've got some guys that are maybe just going through it a little bit. Peyton, Derek, Jalen at times recently. Has their reliance, has that confidence in the offense kind of contributed to maybe that inconsistency in the defensive side?
I would say it's the other way around. I would say, again, if you look at a larger sample, our inconsistency came on the offensive end just last game. I thought it was one of our great defensive efforts today. It was the inconsistent in our defense. So I think it's a smaller sample than what we're saying within the 2-game losing streak. Take a look at game one. It was our offense. This game, it was our defensive execution. So I don't see that correlation, but we definitely have to be better both ends of the floor.
Okay, but the shooting has been better before this recent stretch, right?
Yeah.
So
I would say last game our offense let us down significantly.
Would you say maybe the offense to start the season maybe hid some of the things that you've been kind of dealing with defensively, I should say?
No, I don't think so. No, like I said, Bobby said our numbers are about the same last year. So over the 30 games, I like where we're at, but I'll continue to say it. We have to be better.
Joe, what's the balance with playing the numbers with Caleb and wanting him to maybe shoot those shots? Obviously, he banks the one in, but then also maybe adjusting and saying, all right, you've seen him do this before in this place, and how you're guarding him.
Well, it's great. I like that you asked that question because to answer Gary's question, who do you help off of? And he made big time shots, but if you want to slow Maxey and Embiid down, you have to bring the game to someone. You have to have good shift activity. I mean, I can't. What do you shoot? Out of the 9 threes he shot, I'll go back and look and see which ones were heavily contested. But that's the catch-22 is to what good teams who are shooting the ball well, they put you in a tough spot. And that's why it's important to take away the tendencies on a guy's right-hand drive, take away the transition, don't turn the ball over, get good shots. So when you're in the situation where you're not taking care of some of those details, it doesn't make up for the margin for error, and he made shots. So, like I said, I'd go back and look. I know there was one where we slipped and fell on a back cut, and he was wide open on that one. But the other ones I thought were pretty contested.
Joe, you talk about 25-point quarters. Obviously, I mean, they scored 30, then 36, and then you were able to hold them to 16. What did you see different in that third quarter that sort of, I mean, and then you guys went back to another 30-point quarter for them in the fourth. Like, what was different in that one that you saw?
We kept them out of transition. We kept it 5-on-5. We were relatively physical. Kept them off the free throw line. You know, just the simple things that go into, you know, having a great defensive quarter. Thank you, Joe. Good, thanks.